for your patience throughout this process. I know it has not been easy. And as Captain Grooms has shared with you before, it's because of your patience that our police department has been able to do an adequate investigation and able to come to some of the resolve they have today. I know that nothing is going to replace the pain that you feel, but I hope that today's update will provide you a bit of comfort as you're going through your grieving process of losing your son. I'm also proud of you for your desire and willingness to turn your pain into a passion to help other mothers not have to deal with this, and the compassion you've had throughout this. And I'm looking forward to working with you and helping you to keep Shayne's name alive and his legacy, and to work towards making sure this doesn't happen to other mothers and young people in the city of Elyria and throughout the region. I also want to thank the Elyria Police Department, not only for your thoroughness in this investigation, but the level of care and compassion you've shown to the family throughout this. We know this has not been easy, and I just have to tip my hat to you all for your persistence and resilience and coming to resolve. And thank you to those in the community who were able to provide some information to help us bring some closure to this conversation and to this investigation. With that being said, I'm going to pass it to Lieutenant Lance, who's going to provide the update on the investigation, and then I'll come back up and then we'll answer any questions. So, Lieutenant Lance.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Bill Lance, Elyria Police Department. On behalf of Chief Pelko, Captain Grooms, Detective Jim Wise, the other investigators, Elyria police officers, I'm fortunate that I have the opportunity to come before you today and kind of share some developments in the shooting death of Shayne Edwards that occurred on September 12th, 2022. Shayne was 14 years old, laying in bed, and that kind of launched this investigation. So I'm pleased to announce that last Friday, October 14th, 2022, detectives from the Elyria and Lorain Police Department arrested Hezekiah Shepard. He's a 16-year-old, and Jose Antonio Campos, 18-year-old, both from the city of Lorain, in connection, again, with the shooting death of Shayne Edwards. Shepard was charged for 2 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, discharging firearms at or into a habitation, discharging firearms on or over a premises, prohibited premises, and tampering with evidence. Last Friday, we ended up transporting Shepard out to the Lorain County Juvenile Detention Home, where he is currently being held. Campos was charged for complicity to commit murder and complicity to commit felonious assault. And last Friday, Campos was transported to the Lorain County Jail. This past Monday, Campos was arraigned here in Elyria Municipal Court by the Honorable Judge Robert White. Campos was given a $50,000 bond on each count, and had subsequently posted bond and has been released. I just want to share that the safety of our citizens and our community is our priority, and this is an active and ongoing investigation, so I will not be fielding any questions regarding this. We will prepare and distribute a press release to you, along with a photograph of Mr. Campos that will not include a photograph of Shepard, as he is a juvenile. Again, we will continue, and we are still actively investigating the death of Shayne Edwards. We ask that anybody that has any information to contact us at the Elyria Police Department. Detective Jim Wise can be reached at 440-326-1212. Thank you.
And as you heard Lieutenant Lance mention, this is a active investigation, so there's not much we can say in regards to more details on this, but we will have another press conference where we'll invite you out as those details are ready to share those details. But overall, our message to young people is, put the guns down, leave the guns alone. Us as adults, we have a responsibility to, and that we failed our young people in our responsibility to get guns off the street. And we expect young people to do dumb things. They're young. But we have to do what we can to make sure guns aren't a part of that equation. And it's sad to see a 14-year-old life being taken, a 60-year-old life being ruined, and we have to do what we can as a society to change that. And that's what we're committed to. We're going to be working alongside Kristen, as I said before, to try to stop this pain that is happening in our society. So with that said, I did want to provide some updates on the other situations. I don't know if that was, of interest. But in the Denison Avenue situation, I'm going to ask Captain Groom to provide a kind of overview. That is also an active investigation, but I'd like him to provide an overview of that, as well as you may have heard about the murder-suicide that we had with that family. So I'm going to ask Captain Grooms to come up and give a couple updates on that as well.
Good morning. My name is Captain Michael Grooms with the Elyria Police Department. As the mayor said, we had two incidents this weekend involving, unfortunately, the loss of more life in our city. The first was over on Kennybrook Drive, where 4 family members lost their lives. What I would say to that is, just as there's an emphasis on gun violence, we need to really concentrate on mental health, do everything we can to recognize issues early, get our family members help, get our community members, neighbors, the help that they need to try to prevent things like this from happening. I do not want to offer any details as to what led to this at this time, simply because we're still trying to speak with family members and discuss those things with them. As far as the incident on Denison, again, this is, as Lieutenant Lance referred to the other case, this is an open investigation in which we believe we know a lot of the facts of the case. We're in the process of comparing the evidence that we've collected to make sure that the facts as we know them are true. And in that process, we're in discussions with the Lorain County Prosecutor's Office to determine whether charges are appropriate or not in that case. Thank you.
We will try to entertain any questions that we can. As you've heard, it's going to be difficult to answer some, but feel free. Go ahead.
Can you say whether or not there were any previous threats at the home where Shayne lived?
So again, once we get further into ready to disclose motives and things like that, we'll definitely invite you back and have that full disclosure once the investigation is complete.
Mayor, talk about the community's involvement. I know it's an ongoing investigation, but can we thank the community?
For sure.
Get great tips. Talk about that.
Yeah, and I'll let the detective speak to that, Detective Weiss speak to that. But yes, the community, we have an anonymous tip line. People can go on our website and provide those anonymous tips right from our website. They can also text Elyria to tip 411, and they can text their tips, and that has been helpful and throughout the case. But we have had conversations about the difficulty as well, that there has been a resistance and reluctance to come forward with information, but people need to recognize that, they're looking out for their own safety as well. They're looking out for their grandmothers and mothers' safety by coming forward with information. So, I don't know, Detective Weiss, you want to speak to kind of the information that came forth? Okay, I got it. Any other questions?
Can you say whether or not Shayne was the intended target?
Yeah, again, now we're getting deeper into, we're going to make sure that we share all motive and understanding that we have through our investigation once we get to that point. We're committed to that. There was a question back there.
She actually just asked it, but I might
Okay.
ask her. The last
Excuse me?
I'm sorry for your loss. Are you allowed to talk about how she's helping now? So you kind of mentioned it before, that she's going to help out so that no one has to go through this again?
Yeah, I know. Kristen, again, is an exceptionally, and we were talking about this yesterday, how this word can sometimes be misused, but she's an exceptionally strong woman as she's dealing with this pain. And part of our conversations have been, okay, she wants to make a difference so that other mothers don't feel this pain. And even the compassion she showed toward other folks involved has just been miraculous. And so we've met with Moms Demand Action and spent a lot of time with them yesterday. I'm a part of that group. And so we're going to be, working with Kristen not only on her individual journey, but there's been a number of families who've suffered from gun violence and really starting to organize those folks to try to stop the craziness that we're dealing with as a society and get a grip on this issue.
Did both of the suspects go to the high school, Elyria High School?
Both of the suspects, I don't know if you heard that both of them were from the city of Lorain.
City of Lorain?
Yeah,
Can you spell the 16-year-old's name?
that'll be in the press conference, which you'll be getting sent to you in the next. Yeah, as soon as we walk upstairs, we'll send that up to you. Send that out to you. Well, again, thank y'all. We will invite you all back when we have the further updates that we want to provide for you all. Again, thank you to Kristen for your patience and your resilience through this. Thank you to the Elyria Police Department. Again, to our young people, I just got to reinforce this message that we're expecting you to be young, but put the guns down, leave the guns alone. You're ruining your life and the life of others. It's not worth it. And again, we're going to do whatever we can as the city of Elyria in partnership with the city of Lorain to make sure that we put a stop to this. So thank you.